Hey guys, welcome to Podcast Fandom, the official podcast for ProjectFandom.com. I'm your host, Nina.
I'm Donald.
And I'm Kaylee.
And we are back to discuss Squid Game. Okay, so what you just heard was me obviously having trouble pronouncing a word that begins with an S after a word that ends with an S. Discuss Squid Game. No, we're going to discuss Squid Game, episodes 5 and 6, A Fair World, which it's not, and Kangbu, which I want to kick Sang-woo in his Kangbu. That's not a thing you can kick somebody in, but I'm upset.
I wish I was dead.
What did you say?
I said I wish I was dead.
That's what I thought you said.
Oh, sorry. All right.
It's like, Jesus Christ. Y'all really should have seen my face when she said that. Kaylee, the look I gave the microphone. You might have got hit if you were sitting next to me. Don't ever say that. But yes, I understand. Because this is some sad shit. All right, so listen. I watched this immediately after we recorded last time. I'm going to watch the next 2 episodes immediately after we're done. Well, no, I'm going to do my homework first. And then I'm going to watch these 2 episodes, the next 2 episodes. And then we just have one, you guys. It's just a 9-episode series. So I watched these alone first, and I was just over it. Like, I was honestly annoyed that we weren't watching together, because that's episode 6 fucked me up so hard, and I just had to watch it alone and cry.
I'm glad I watched it alone.
Why?
Because I was sobbing.
Oh my God, were you?
Yes.
Oh. It's so unfair. It's so unfair. All right, so really quickly, Kaylee, what did you think of these 2 episodes?
I already said.
Okay. Donnie? Moving on. Donnie, do you also wish you were dead?
No, I don't wish I was dead. But
That's just, honestly, that's how I'm going to start all the podcasts now. Instead of asking if you like a show, I'm just going to, do you wish you were dead? That's like, when you were done watching it, did you wish that all of your life function ceased? Donnie, what did you think of these episodes?
No, they were great episodes. It definitely puts you on starting to hate other characters now. It did definitely. After episode 6, I was like, fuck this dude. I'm not rooting for this guy. So that's gonna make it a little easier going forward to, like, I don't even give a fuck.
Yeah. That's true. However, so I'm so glad you said that, because I hadn't considered this. Because again, I just watch, and then I got to talk about it online kind of vaguely, because I'm not trying to spoil other people. So really the only time that I get to talk about this in depth is with you guys here. So remember how I asked you guys in the beginning, like, what do we think of, like, how sympathetic we're supposed to feel towards some of these people, right? Because they're all in debt, but there's so many different ways you can go into debt, right? And I think we're conditioned to think that, people who are poor and in debt, they deserve it. Like, they must have done something to deserve it. So I thought it was just really interesting that Sang-woo was, like, highly educated, like, really smart, had a good job. And it sounds like he just fucked up being greedy or sneaky or whatever. Like, we still
even in these episodes, like, there's, I think in the I don't know which one it was, but he was talking to Ali about money, because Ali tells him his story, and then he's like, "Why are you here?" And he goes, "Because I don't have any money to make money."
Okay, yes, and you know what? We had talked about this. There's so much to talk about. Okay, we talked about the fact that someone had tweeted and made this big deal, which was basically kind of scaring people. And what she said was that she's fluent in Korean and she's watching it with the subtitles, and the subtitles are so bad, it's like you're watching a completely different show. And that's, excuse me, simply not true. Absolutely not true. And then it turned out she had the closed captions on. So she wasn't even watching like English subtitles. She was watching closed caption, which is a whole different animal. It serves a whole different purpose. And so, yeah, the translations are not going to be as good as the subtitles. And because of the Korean language and the way it's structured and how it's so different from English, that there's sometimes you're just not going to get one-to-one translations. That it's just not going to happen. So in the scene you're talking about, when he asked him, why did you come? And so basically, I guess Ali has said he didn't have money. Sangwoo actually says, 돈 없어서 돈 벌어. I don't have money. I don't have money to make money. Right. Which, if I watched somebody react to this episode and they had the closed caption on, and all he says is, I don't have money. But where that's, I think, better, like what he actually said and why it's better is because being poor is expensive. Being broke is expensive. And it's by design. You know what I mean? Like everything you try to do to make more money requires money. Even just the way you watch people who are poor and don't maybe have a bank account. Like they have to pay to access their money. You know what I mean? They have to pay their bills. Like it is expensive to be poor. So I just really like that nuance. But anyway.
I just felt like when he said that, in my opinion, it was just that he hasn't learned this lesson that if he had more money, he would also invest it.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? I don't even know if that's the point. Because I don't even know if like the point of this is to come out of this and teaching these people a lesson. Because again, not everybody who is in there.
It wasn't teaching. It wasn't. But it was like when they go and he kills all the people with the doctor and stuff like that. And he talks about how this is just to give people
a chance, which is bullshit, but go ahead.
Right. But yeah, it's just an even opportunity.
But with Sangwoo, though, I even said, I feel like his so far, and I mean, there may be more to it, because it feels like everybody gets a part in an episode where they get to, like, really tell their story. And I don't think that he's had that yet, because we still don't know why he fucked up or stole this money. So maybe we're going to find out he did it for, like, noble reasons. But right now, and the way okay, two things. On the surface, it feels like his reasons are just really fucked up. Like he did bad things and now he just doesn't want to pay his debt, so he doesn't want to go to jail. But then within the game, I think it's interesting that whether or not why they're broke or in debt is sympathetic, it doesn't matter because nobody should die because they're broke. But this show forces you to like root for people to die. You're not rooting for them. Like the tug of war is a perfect example. When Kihyun is pulling and they're about to win, but he's like looking at the faces of the others. I was like, don't do that. Don't focus. Right. Focus. You kind of like, you're in the position. You're already committed. Unless you want to die, you cannot feel for these people. You cannot.
Right. You need to go in here without making friends, as we learned in episode 6. That's the downfall.
But on the flip side of that, though, they have us, the audience. Like, I caught myself when he was doing that, and I was like, no, focus. I was, like, rooting for those people to die. Mm-hmm. But not really. I was rooting for them to win. Do you get what I mean? But, like, this show has forced us to several times, like, root for death for people whose only crime that we know of is they're broke. They have debt. And so it's just, I don't know. I think that's interesting for me when I'm watching it to like examine why I feel the way I do and why I'm rooting for people and how we judge their actions, which I feel like we're going to talk about a lot in episode 6. So, all right, let's talk about the episodes because I'm still really, 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 really enjoying them.
Can I say something before we start?
Mm-hmm.
Episode 6 was the episode that I was spoiled on that I mentioned previously.
That's right. You knew about, what's her number? 240?
Yeah.
What's her name? Ji-Hyun? Ji-Young. That's right.
But at least you weren't spoiled on like the ending of the show.
Yeah.
Just something early on, so now you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened. I don't know what goes on after this point, but I was spoiled on her death and also just like it happened during the marble game, and I didn't know what the marble game was, so I just knew it involved marbles. So,
Yeah.
like,
So, like,
but I'm sure you were still fucked up because of the other people that died. Like,
yeah. I don't know anything about
really,
any other people.
I mean, their thing was sad as fuck, but I wasn't as emotional as I was with Ali.
No, everything fucked me up.
It was all pretty.
It was all pretty fucking terrible. Yeah, but I hear you. Okay, so episode 5 is A Fair World, and my notes, you guys, I have, this is tragic, don't look at them. It's just like, stop looking at them. But yeah, Sangwoo's plan was right, where they just kind of give up some leverage and take 3 steps forward, and it's going to cause the people tugging to fall back, and they'll have to get their bearings. And if you take advantage of that with your, the progress or the moves that they were doing before, they should win, and that's what happened. Did you notice after
the dude fell out, like, he was off the dude was hanging on the rope over the main character. His name, I forget his name.
Yeah,
but he was hanging over the edge. But at this point, this is because brought it up the last one. I was like, why don't they just let go? But you notice here that they're shackled to the rope.
Yeah.
If you let go, yeah.
Right.
So that guillotine took its sweet time.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's not cool. Hurry up and cut that rope. So hold on a second. My iPad closed, so I lost my notes. Toksu was not happy to see them come walking back in that room. He really thought he was going to get rid of 212. So the marked box that we saw, when they marked the box of one of the guys that fell in tug of war who didn't die upon impact, that box we see is put into the oven, but there's a false bottom that one of the guys working the security monitors activates, and they then take the coffin to a room to extract organs. So we were right about that. That's why you want the alive people, because the stuff is fresher, I guess.
I got this whole fucking big ass operation.
Now, I think I said this. I don't remember if I said this to Kaylee or if I said it on a podcast before watching, but like the fact that I think I said it on the last podcast, the fact that they're so well oiled, this whole operation, like tells you they've been doing, like before we get to the end of this episode, we figured they've been doing this for like a long time. And also the fact that people have figured out a system to game your system tells me that you've been doing this a long time, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. You've had enough people come in here and do this stuff that they got fucking ideas. And they were able to implement it. So, yeah, I don't know if I expected it to be as old as it is, but this game is pretty old. So, did you guys notice how 212, she wasted, her name is Minyo. She wasted no time being racist to Ali. When she was like, what was that move? And the old guy started to answer. He was like, oh, yes, and she was like, you got it from a movie, didn't you? And I was like, that's why I'm telling you, this old man, I don't believe he's dead, first of all. Because I didn't see a body.
Yeah, they didn't show us.
And he is the feds. But, like, I was like, this is why he gonna kill all y'all, because y'all never let him finish his stories. Y'all treat this old man like shit. But when Ali said it was the Matrix, instead of saying, oh yeah, thank you, that's the movie, she was like, all you do the whole time you've been in Korea, do you work or do you just watch movies? I was like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, she's such a bitch.
That sounded like some xenophobic bullshit. What the fuck was that?
She survived the Marvel thing, right?
She didn't play because she didn't get a partner.
She didn't have a partner.
Oh, that's right. They pulled her away, so we don't know what happened to her.
Yeah, I don't think she's dead, but
I don't think she's dead either.
Yeah. Especially because at least the guy in charge right now, I don't know how long he's been in charge, but like the guy in the black mask, he seems to take this bullshit seriously. Like the integrity of the game and stuff like that. Right. So I just don't feel like they would have done that to her. So I'm sure she's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
He calls her ma'am. She's like, don't call me ma'am.
She is really funny about her age. Yeah.
Be recognized as an older.
Yeah.
She still wants to be young and all that stuff. Yeah.
And so the girl who brought up the whole translation issue, she did say one thing which I thought made a lot of sense. There is the scene where she's begging for people to be her partner, and I think she's talking to Ki-hyun, and she's like, I've always really been really smart. I just didn't have time to study, or something like that. And the translations is something like, I'm not stupid, or I did well in school, but I'm just not, something like that. It was just, but the difference is, and I saw her point, and where it's culturally significant is that, and I guess it goes back to like the whole thing is like being poor is expensive. Like not having money is expensive. Like when you're poorer and working class, and the school system in Korea is so competitive that kids go to school and then they go to after school, those cram schools and school on the weekends and all that stuff. It sounded like what she meant was, I was smart. I am smart, but I don't have the advantages that other kids have, or I didn't have, you know what I mean? Like if you are a teenager who has to get a part-time job because your family is poor, you're not going to cram schools after. So you could be as smart as you want, but if you don't have the access to things that other kids with money have access to, you're not going to be able to keep up. And that felt like kind of what she was saying. And I don't think you get that in the English subtitles as they are, versus what she actually said in Korean. But anyway, yeah, she has issues. I'm like, lady, just be a MILF. I'm a MILF. That's fine. It's okay. We had our time in the sun, and now we're aging. It's all right. You're still getting it in the bathroom. Well, what's his name? Toksu. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so Ki-hyun says that it's like 30 minutes to lights out. So he comes up with the plan to barricade themselves. They're going to use all that furniture and the beds, the stuff and the padding, whatever, to like make like a fort. And what? They did.
I know, but it was just, I thought it was silly, but.
No, what are you talking about? That's smart. Why would you? What is wrong
can't
with
really.
you?
I mean, you're putting things up, but it
slows
really
them down.
I guess
it's just like putting up the fucking in The Walking Dead when they would have to sleep outside. What did they do? They put up ropes around the perimeter of the trees. Excuse me, with like cans and stuff. That's not going to stop the zombies, but it's going to make some fucking noise so that you can wake up and not wake up with a zombie eating your guts. So yeah, and then of course, like it wasn't like it was their only protection because they had people stand watch. So I thought it was good, but he gets into Doksu's head because he's like, "You think these are gonna protect you?" He's like, "You need to worry about yourself because your team hates you and you're an asshole." So then. Oh, I just have this is a random thing in my notes. Did you guys notice that the guys who are monitoring the cameras, they look like they're sitting at slot machines?
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, they look like giant, like games, like in the arcade, but they're like painted the colors like inside the game, like pink and bright blue and stuff. But they look like people sitting at slot machines. Like when you go to the casino and it's just like zombies sitting there pulling the thing. That's exactly what it looks like. And I wonder if that was on purpose. So the lights go out and then Sungwoo and Ali bond. And I don't even really want to talk about this because...
knowing what happens later.
Hey, let him call him Hyung.
Mm-hmm. He told him about his wife and his child.
Baby. Yep. While the doctor is downstairs trying to retrieve the organs from the body that went through the little tunnel process, we learned that he killed somebody. Like one of his patients, like accidentally, like during surgery or something like
malpractice.
That. And it was a malpractice, so now we know why his ass is all fucked up. Yep. And then while Ki-hyun is doing night watch with number one, he starts having like a flashback
of the day his daughter was born.
I was like, nigga, where was you at war? Where
That's what it did. It reminded you of war.
Where the fuck did you work?
But I was like, God damn, they take strikes serious.
I know. Apparently, we learn how his colleague died right in front of him because he tells number one that he was working for an auto company, like a car plant.
Yep.
And so he was working for like Hyundai or and he says they striked for more money, or they were going to be let off.
They were going to let go because of
the company was having trouble. And he said they were striking, and then they called in, I'm guessing, like the feds to get the cops to get them out, because they were doing the whole, they were striking.
They were striking inside.
Protesting, yes, they were yes. Now, why is it like I cannot think of the term for that? Not a sit-in, but yeah, at the company. So this old dude, number one, he was like, oh, I remember. I was like, nigga, you knew this already because this your game. Like, what are you talking about? I think I remember reading about it.
Him.
Right? I was like, you know everything about him because you know it's your game.
Especially that whole Marvelous game. I was
oh my God.
I was so suspect of him.
When he was like, this looks just like my old neighborhood, I was like, nigga, this is your game.
This is my house, and
it's like do you notice like everything they do? He starts with, well, when I was younger. Like, how did you know that thing? When I was a kid, when I was younger. And then he was like, what's your name? Huh? Like, nigga, you know your name.
You designed this shit. Come on.
You know all the fucking rules of play for every game in the world, but when somebody asks you your name, it's like, okay. But anyway.
So I guess I'm the only one here who's not suspicious of him.
I mean, he dead now, so I guess, but I still
you just said you don't think he's dead, but okay.
Well, okay, they don't show the body, but like this is also like, for instance, we didn't see Ali get shot either, but I believe he's dead.
I think you see Ali's body when they do the last shot.
We do. I'm so glad Ryan didn't see that.
His body's at the bottom of the screen, but you still don't see number one.
Ah. Yeah, you're the only one, Kaylee. He the feds.
Okay, well, let's just hope one of us is right then.
You're not suspicious of him at all?
I used to be, but not anymore. But I guess
say,
maybe that would be the point of this episode.
I feel like he was like, he could have been running this game's operation for years, and then this is he's getting so old he wanted to try it himself.
What?
That makes sense.
What?
He was one of the VIPs.
Oh, so like he really does have a tumor, and this was like his last hurrah?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, rich people are ridiculous. I could think of so many other ways I'd rather go out. But okay. So staying on that, really quickly, he gets sick, right? Now, did you guys notice, because I still think he's the feds, I can't help it, when the alarm went off, right, because they figured out that some shit went down, right, the organ stuff, and the alarm went off, he looked scared as shit, and he's the only one who did...
Like, because he was having, like, PTSD.
What?
Those alarms going off sometime, like, those alarms going off at some point in his life, like hearing those sirens before. And
really?
That's why he hit himself, yeah.
No, I feel like he was scared because he knows that means something went wrong, and he's like, God damn it, I gotta go fire somebody. But Kylie, how did he look to you? He
looked move. Scared, yeah.
Yeah, everybody else like sat up like, what the fuck? And he looked like he knew exactly what that meant and that it didn't mean something good. Whereas everybody else was like, this sounds scary. I wonder what happened. Also, when he peed himself, the reason that I'm like, not like, listen, you would think the fact that he's dead at the end of the episode would make me be like, nah, he's not the feds. No. Still on the table for me. The thing that makes me doubt that he's the feds is that he pissed himself. Because what the fuck? It reminds me of that thing from The Walking Dead, this Robert Kirkman thing. He really likes it. He used this line in The Walking Dead, and he used it again in Invincible. And it was, do you know how hard it is to piss your pants on purpose? It's like your dick knows you're wearing pants. And I always laugh at that because it's like, why wouldn't your dick know you're wearing pants? Your dick is right where the pants go. you're wearing pants. But anyway, why did he pee on himself? Answer that if he's not the feds and if he's the feds. Kaylee, why did he pee on himself?
Not the feds. Well, I mean, he is an old man.
Okay, fair enough. Fair. Kaylee's like he's 100. Okay. If he is the feds.
I don't think he is, so I can't really come up with a reason.
You're no fun. Donnie, he's the feds. Why did he pee himself?
I think he just had PTSD from like a Korean War at some point in his life.
Donnie's like, he's the feds, but he can still get scared sometimes.
Right? He's old.
He's the feds, but he's lived a life and he has memories and shit. Okay. Now, the cop, Jun-ho suspects, as they were doing the autopsy, it comes out that at one time they were like cutting into somebody they thought was dead, but they were actually still alive, and that this person was missing a kidney. And this causes Jun-ho, who is right, and they're pretending to be one of them, to like pause. And his partner, number 28, is already suspicious of this nigga because he ain't coughing back. He ain't looking at him. He has left his coughs on red. So he's like, okay, why are you freaking out? And now we get, or at least I got, right? Like at this moment that he thought his brother must be missing a kidney. Right, and so he thought they were talking about his brother. Right. So they are divers, apparently. So I'm guessing they're probably like ex-military, right? These guys? Some of these guys? Right? But anyway, they're divers. And the at least 28 and 29 were divers. 28 is now dead. So is 29, by the way. And 29 is Jun-ho. But they are taking the organs in like through these complicated tunnels, which the VIPs use in case, like, to first of all, to I guess get in without being seen, and probably if they have to dip, if the feds show up, the real feds. So they dive and meet a ship where they pick up these organs, and his partner realizes, Jun-ho's partner realizes that he's not really 29, and he confronts him.
Because he asking too many questions.
Seriously. He was like, also, you're talking different. Now, the thing, those masks have a voice thing, right?
Right.
So they all sound the same, but I think it's the way he...
Face, but obviously, if they're diving, they've seen each other's face.
Also, he said something like, I got you. I thought he got him the gig. I thought. So it made me think that they knew each other outside of here.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like they somehow connected outside of the game.
But I guess what he meant was like, you're talking different because you just sounded real stupid. He should have been like, cough, so I know it's you. So we find out when he was like, that was my brother. Do you want to know where his other kidney is? And he like touches his abdomen, and we're like, oh man, this is terrible. And the guy is like, no. That wasn't your brother. It was a woman. We took turns with her before we opened her up.
Jesus Christ.
And then he goes, would we do that to a guy? I don't fucking know what you would do. I don't fucking know. I don't know nothing about you. I just know what you just told me, and that's real fucked up. So I wouldn't put anything past you, okay? You're working in the Squid Games, nigga. I don't know what you would and wouldn't do. Shit. So he kills him, but not before the guy tells him where he can find the records. Yeah. And I was like, why are y'all keeping paper trails? Why do y'all have a winner's list? Like, this is some legit above board shit. You're supposed to be burning all the evidence. Like you burn the bodies. They got binders and shit.
For years.
And there is a bomb. Right? Like along that ladder, like on the wall or something. I forgot about it. You guys reminded me. So
that bomb's obviously gonna go off at some point.
Yeah, you don't introduce a bomb in the first act. You don't use it to blow up your murder island by the third. So the doctor starts flipping out because he's like, what's the next game? And they're like, we don't know yet. And he's like, Now, they didn't know, right?
No, I don't think they do.
But he was all paranoid thinking they were lying to him. And so he like fucking he takes one of them hostage with a scalpel and he's like, go find out the game and come back. He's like, motherfucker, you mess it like like he was getting on my nerves, this doctor at this point. I'm like, you think he's just gonna be able to walk upstairs and go in the office and check the schedule? Hey boss, what's the next game? Right? Like, just check the schedule and shit. Oh, tomorrow is hopscotch. Okay, I'll be back. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's not how it works. So he like fucking stabs that one guy or shoots, I don't fucking know, and he runs out and the guy chases him, and then the fucking guy who's just up there monitoring the fucking slot machines, he's like, shit. All he sees is them running around. And all he could do is delete footage, right? He's no help. He's watching them run by cameras and deleting that shit. So the doctor runs into the room they did the honeycomb game. And the guard talks him down and is about to kill him when the main boss comes in. Yeah. And kills the guard for fucking with like the purity of his game. And the fairness and all of that.
I wonder how he found out.
What?
I wonder how he found out they were in there.
I mean, I don't know, but I will tell you this. The fact that he knew that they were doing them organs and didn't care. I feel like one of y'all said that last time, and I was like, I don't know. I feel like that's the kind of...
Yeah, because I was like,
yeah.
he's going to let people do... It's a social experiment just to see what they do. But he still wants them to play their game.
I just did not think that sounded right. Because I was like, there's so many... You know, like, if that operation gets busted, it could lead back to your operation. So, right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, turning a blind eye to fucking in the bathroom or... crawling up in the vents to look in the kitchen when you know good and damn well she can't go nowhere, right? Like, I could see letting that shit slide, but like anything that would bring heat onto this island is just crazy that they were letting that happen. But he's like, I don't give a fuck what you do with the organs. He's like, you can eat them, you can sell them, but you're fucking up my game. So they are... He kills... No, notice he didn't kill the doctor. Because the doctor is a contestant.
Because the doctor didn't do anything wrong in his eyes. He did. The doctor didn't.
But I mean, okay, but if that's the case, why would you let the doctor live? He had
They shot him after.
That's what I'm saying, but he didn't do it.
Right, because in his eyes, like, he has no grudge against the doctor.
Okay, but you're not following me. So why did they kill the doctor?
Because he saw the guard's face.
Because he saw, he's seen the guard's face. He's seen things, and that's all the things he can see.
Okay. Because when he said that about the sanctity of the game, like, I forgotten the face part. I really just thought, oh, he's gonna let him go back and play. He's gonna be like, oh my god, you guys, wait till I tell you where I've been. So Junho, and then he learns about. Like, he's like, oh, we found another one. So they learn, the leader is alerted. This was cool. He is told that they found the other body where they were carving up the organs. He learns about that right after Junho shoots the lock. When that nigga shot that lock, let me tell you what. I was
and he looked.
Yes, and he looked off to the side, and I was like, oh, I was so stressed. But then the guy came in and was like, we found another one. And I was like, whew, that was your ass, Junho. You don't even know. But also, I was like, when he shot that, okay, first of all, when he shot that man, like, it feels like to me, Junho knows more than we think he does, because he's just looking for his fucking brother. And
right,
remember
he had the opportunity to escape.
But like, even like what he did to go about this is so crazy to me, because again, if I'm a cop, I'm a detective, and my mom is like, hey, we haven't seen your brother in a couple of days, could you please whatever, and then I go, his fish is dead, and there's this weird PlayStation card, and the cops is like, oh, they said it's a game, if I show up and see dozens of vans putting people, unconscious people on a fucking ship, I'm calling my partners. I'm calling the national, I'm calling everybody. But he chose to go in there, and then he very quickly went to killing people. Mm-hmm. And I get it, because that was self-defense. But I mean, he's a cop, and typically there's the whole, I got to call this in. But he's in there like...
He's rogue.
But it's almost like he'd heard of this before, but didn't really think it existed or something. And then he gets in there and he's like, oh, that rich people crazy shit I heard about. Okay, let me get some evidence. I don't know. He just seems, I don't know.
Well, the interesting thing is that when he finds the records and he's looking for his brother's not in the past. His brother was played years ago.
Yeah, his brother won.
So I'm
in 2015.
Right, and I'm like, okay, so he's one of the VIPs. He could be him.
Either he's a VIP or he's the guy running it.
Right, he's one of the top people now.
Yeah, because they didn't show us his face.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Which, you know what I don't like? Like, I don't like that they showed the photo but blurred it.
They blurred it? I thought it was just like a shadow over it, really.
Oh, maybe that was what it was, and I'm blind.
I don't think they like physically blurred it.
Like how they blurred the photo in Signal, Kaylee. You and I were like,
picture.
Yes. And you and I were like, just don't show the fucking photo.
Because when we first saw that, I was like, is that Batman? There's no way, right? But
it is. There's a picture on somebody's desk in the show Signal, Donny, and they're wearing a Batman costume, but they, like, every time they show the photo in the show, they just blur it so you can tell that it's somebody in a Batman costume. But not who it is or why. And it's just like, we're like, is it a licensing thing? It's so weird. But okay. Get this though. We skipped ahead a little bit. When he shot that lock, what I'm saying is, like, he immediately killed that guy. I would have killed him too. You're fucking corpses, dude. You gotta go. You have no place in society or even in jail. You're done here. He shot that guy in the head. And I'm like, he's not really caring about, like, if people hear things, it just feels like he's just, I don't know. So when he shot that lock, I was like, oh, because he could have shot that lock, you guys, and like...
And somebody could have been on the other side.
It could have been like 12 niggas in there with machine guns. He didn't know what he was going to find, but he didn't care. You know what I mean? No. And that's what I think I mean. It's just like, I feel like he's not reckless, but he don't give a fuck. But anyway, let's talk about
They didn't find the guy he killed over by the scuba gear, right?
Yes, they did. And that's how he determined, the leader determined. So how do
they not know where he's at? That's okay. But they don't know. Okay. At that point, they didn't know where he, like, what he is, if that makes sense. They don't know if it's a contestant. They didn't know if it's another worker. Like, they don't know what they're dealing with. Right.
So when they found 28 dead, and they were like, search all around, and the guy says, oh, he could have left, and he said, no, all the tanks are there. They didn't know what they were dealing with. So remember when they went to the dorm where they all lived, that's when they realized that it's somebody. Right. But before that, now notice that the leader took the bullet out of the head. Yes. Mm-hmm. And I think he's gonna know, like, I bet, like, that's like a standard issue police pistols type shit. So he's going to know that this was even a weapon that this person brought into the game. It's not like one of our weapons.
Right.
But yeah, other than that, now at this point, I did feel like, especially because we have this episode 6, I wonder, like they didn't go back to this shit at all in episode 6.
Nope.
And so I don't know if they have been looking for him that whole time, but it did feel like there was no sense of, like, urgency.
They're on an island. There was, but there was also urgency because they were immediately like, okay, we need to start the next game. Like,
you know why they needed to start the next game?
On the phone said we need to start the next game.
I know why. Y'all ready?
Mm.
They needed to start the next game because they had to pull number 1 out.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Okay.
Number one's his daddy. His granddaddy.
Listen, there's a couple of times I was like, is this your daddy? And you don't know it? Like, what? When he's like, you remind me of my son. And when he said, this is where I used to live here or whatever. And Keon is like, me too. I'm like, look. And when he was like, I would come home and my son would be so busy playing, he wouldn't even know. And I peek from behind the utility pole. And I'm like, dude, is this your Harabochi? Is this your dad? Who is this? But anyway, I don't know. All right. So what's up with the suit with the bunny head? Because I kind of want it.
That's for the VIP party.
What?
That's for the VIP party.
What?
I think
There's
it's
VIPs.
prediction.
There's people that we have not seen. I'm going, this is all the rich people that are running this shit,
like, what the
that
fuck
are
did I
funding
miss?
this shit.
Because he said
Like
it
a
so matter of
masquerade ball.
factly.
Yes. He really, Kaylee, like, duh. And I'm like, did I miss an end credit scene or something? Or did you start watching the next episode like you did with fucking Money Heist? Do you remember that? Talking about clowns and had me in a panic, thought I was having a fucking stroke. Anyway. But why would it be there? Like, I would just bring my shit with me. Well, I guess you really don't want to have to explain that, right?
This is his living quarters, though.
But wait, I thought that was a woman's suit. I'm sorry. It feels like a woman's suit to me. Maybe just because I want it.
The person under the mask could be a woman.
I mean, we don't know. It could be a guy.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right.
But this is where Dr. Doom lives, so that's why there was no security footage in those rooms. And they couldn't locate where the guy was.
Ki-hun gives number one his jacket so that he can tie it around his waist because he peed on himself. They discover number 29 is missing. And then Junho sees that first he sees a list of winners. Okay, can I ask you a question? Why did the books that I saw, it was like the list of players, right? And it was like their like dossier with their photos, which we've seen. Yep. And then there was like a book that just had like the winners, right?
Just the names.
The names, right? The participants and then the names of the winners, right? So the first thing he did was go to the most like one of like, I don't remember if it was the first one he looked at, but he definitely at one point went to the recent one, right? And we saw our guy, Ki-hun, right? And then he went to the list of winners. And it was 2015. Like, why did he do that?
Like, that's what it made me think. Like, he had to have known his brother had disappeared at one point.
I feel like that's what I'm saying. I feel like he may
his brother
not
must have mentioned something at one point or something, and he's just not remembering it. But the one thing I found interesting is when you look at the list of names, because we had talked about this, the list of names of the winners, and there was like 40 names in there.
Well, the list specifically says 2015 28th Squid Game.
Right. So
it was the 28th one in 2015.
Right. And there's not just one winner. There could, like we see here, there could be multiple winners.
Oh, I see what you're saying. The people.
Right. That it's
No. But here's the thing. If you look at the books, it's not like they do one a year.
I know they do multiple, but you're saying that was one particular 6-round game, and they had more than one winner.
Okay, I gotcha. See, now I've heard people. Where did I see it? Oh, it was a reaction that I was watching, and like the top comment said something like, it's something about there being one winner. Like sarcastically saying that, and the way I don't remember the exact word, but my impression was that they were making fun of the reactors for thinking that there's going to be more than one winner. And I know we had discussed this, right? Because it feels like, I don't know. I feel like it is just one winner.
Mm-hmm. Unless the games are structured in a way that they're forced to kill people off.
Marble thing, then yes, but
Yeah.
If the very last game was like a one-person stand-up.
Right. Okay, because otherwise, I mean, I guess I see that because I was like, otherwise, why are they so intent on like killing each other? But then I remember they put more money in, so it's not just that. You're doing that. It's less people to compete against and obviously less people to split the money with. Okay. So he finds the list of winners and he sees his brother's name. And again, I feel like he went right to that fucking book. And I'm like, why 2015? Like, why that? Why are you looking at the list of winners? You need to be looking at who's writing these checks. I don't know. Like, trying to figure out who's organized. You need to go look at the desk and stop looking at the files. But anyway, he sees his brother's name as the winners, and then I'm guessing, like, maybe it's a common name or something like that. To be sure, he goes and he looks at the list of players, which has the photos to confirm that it was his brother, and it is. Oh my God. All right. You guys, so where the fuck is his brother?
Told you, he's one of the VIPs or he's somebody in charge. He's high up there in ranking.
But why did he let his fish die? Why isn't he calling his mother? Like, if
he wants all this money.
Right.
But but what I'm saying is, if you're somebody who's in on it, like, you understand, and you expect to leave, like, you expect your life to resume, right? Why do you have your mother looking for you? You could say
maybe he doesn't care anymore. So, winning this game probably changed him.
This is why I don't let you out the house.
Probably became a terrible person.
The way you just so quickly went to, maybe he don't give a fuck about his mama anymore, Mom. Was a little scary, I just gotta say. But he let his fish die? Why would you let your fish...
If he don't care about his mom, he don't care about his fish.
I just don't think that... I don't know. I don't buy it. So where do we think the workers come from? Because my thought was he was probably a worker. But now we see he won. So where are these and because there's like a hierarchy with the workers, are they past contestants? Are they... What is that?
I feel like the ones that the circles definitely are people. They could be criminals. I mean, it could just be low class people that can easily be manipulated because they're almost slaves in this sense, being forced to do this stuff. The ones that I'd be interested in seeing, like, same thing with I think the triangles are the ones that do the surveillance and the cameras and stuff like that. Anybody, I could say, like, the squares up are the people that could possibly have played before.
What if the I want to go back and watch when they were doing the game with the envelopes, they were red and blue or red and green.
Green.
So it's like their outfits.
I thought they were red and blue.
Okay, never mind.
I don't remember.
I don't remember if it's like the exact same color or, I don't know if it's the exact same, but I thought it was like red and blue or red and green. But the outfits are green, right? You wouldn't say that's blue. Okay, never mind. 'Cause I was going to say, like, what if when he asks you to play, you pick an envelope and that determines? Like, what if, like...
What outfits are you talking about?
The
suits?
Yeah, the suits. I'm trying to figure out where the people in the red jumpsuits came from. Because some of them, like, we talked about the one guy who just was like, or I'm assuming it was a guy, who didn't want to, like, see her peeing. Like, he felt, like, and then the fact that, like, they can't talk to the other people. Like, the fact that they keep, like, a hierarchy for control, maybe, but I feel like it could be more than that. Like, who exactly are these people, and why is this their job?
The first time you see one, he's young, so it's like my first thought was, they're all just young kids.
But he wasn't.
The next two we see that aren't that young.
And get this, the guy we saw, the one that you mean the one that got killed at the honeycomb game, right?
Right.
He was really young. He was a square, wasn't he? Yeah, because he was.
Yes, because he was the one.
He was reprimanding. and he took his mask, right? So
Yep.
it's like his age, he was still in a, management, I guess, position. Yeah. All right. So anyway, they show them the bodies. They're like, let this be a lesson to you. These 3 motherfuckers used to work for us. Now they don't, as you can see. This is one of your contestants. Don't be these people. Kaylee's girlfriend was like, oh. She was looking like she was in a museum, and this was like...
He did the look on the, I forget his number, but the criminal guy. He's just like, oh, fuck, there goes our advantage.
Yeah, I hate him so much. Okay. So, what's said on the phone call when it rings in Junho hides? I don't remember what the phone call was about. Oh! Wait, did he say something like we had a slight issue or whatever, but it's dealt with? Okay.
Right. That, and then we have to start the games, like the next game soon. Mm-hmm.
We got to pull Daddy out.
But to me, it felt like he was talking to somebody higher up than him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so number 67 and number 240 team up. Gihan eventually asks number 1 to partner with him. No one wants to be with 212, so she ends up alone. Husband and wife team.
This is so fucked up.
So who died? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I don't know if they showed us.
If they did, it was like in the background. They didn't put much focus on them.
So I'm going to go in order of like the least devastating when we talk about what happens with these marbles, okay? Mm-hmm. So the husband and wife team, we don't know what happened. 101, Toksu. Mm-hmm. He's losing, right? And, so the rule is they have 10 minutes?
Was it 10 or 20?
It might have been 20. I don't know. All I know, it felt like an hour. Like, it felt like they gave them the hour, the whole it felt like the whole episode was just like in real time. This was excruciatingly
I thought
long.
it was like 30 minutes, but maybe not.
Okay. But it was something where how many marbles did they start with?
They
it was
each
something
had
like
10,
yeah.
and they hit the winner. You had to win the game by having all 20. And you just had to play any game of marbles that you wanted to get that 10.
Until to get your right. So till one person has 20. Okay. So the first game they're playing, I guess, is where you just kind of guess, like even and odd, what they're holding. Mm-hmm. Right? That's what 101 plays with his partner, who's
there's
one
a couple
of his
people that played that one.
And it's like he was playing with like one of his lackeys, right? And notice how quickly people start disrespecting him. like they can't wait to call him a motherfucker to his face. And he convinces the guy to switch to another game. And he has to, right? I don't know. That just felt like when the guard stepped in and was like allowed or whatever, I was like, really? Because I don't feel like we've seen that before. Like, I didn't even think he would have the authority to do that. I guess unless he's just reinforcing the rule, I guess, which is that, I don't know. Well, no, because he said something about it being fair. Yeah, I guess. Right. So he convinces him to play this game where you have to like toss the marbles in like a little hole in the sand or something. And of course, what happened, I knew this was going to happen. He ended up pushing Toksu's marble in. And then ran. They always run like, where do you think you're going? They never get that far.
What I liked about him running away was that none of the other guards were chasing after him. They just left it up to the guard assigned to him.
Because they were like, that's your ass if he gets away. I'm not getting involved in this at all. I'm going to sit here and watch my game of marbles. All right. Now, I guess we got to talk about, let's do Sangwoo and Ali.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? Why wouldn't a man from Pakistan, is it called Pakistani? Is that what you call people from Pakistan?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't want to. That's what I've been saying. I'm hoping that's correct, and not offensive. Why would a man from Pakistan not know what even and odd numbers are?
No, he didn't know the language.
Huh?
He didn't know the Korean words for even and odd.
Break it down to me like I'm 2.
He doesn't speak Korean, so he didn't understand the Korean word for what even and odd meant. So he was like, well, Sangwoo was like, even is 2, 4, 6, and odd is 3, 5.
Okay.
He had to explain what
okay,
even
so
odd
what you're
meant.
Now, this language is funny because I've been studying Korean for 3 years, and I don't think I know the words for even and odd. I mean, odd and strange. Like, I know that, but I don't know. Okay, so, all right. So you're saying, I almost called him Ida. Lord Jesus. You're saying he said to him, "Jocha," for even, right? So he said "Jocha," and you're saying Ali was like, "Jocha, what's that?"
Yes.
So he didn't know how to say even because he doesn't speak English. I mean, Sangwoo, or he doesn't speak. No, Sangwoo doesn't speak whatever. We don't. I mean, I'm assuming Ali. Or is he from Pakistan? Where do they speak? Not here. 1 second. Let's look at. Now, because I'm interested. But my point is.
Speak Arabic?
Huh?
Pakistan.
I want to be sure. I want to be sure. I mean, of course, it could be. No. No, it's actually. Oh! I just learned about this language. And then I'll tell another story. But anyway, they speak Urdu and English. And then when I tap it, it takes me to Pashto, which is, I have a funny story about that language. I'll tell you guys off podcast. But anyway, so what Kaylee, you're saying then is when he said, "Chucha, what's that?" He did not know how to say the word for even in Ali's mother tongue. Mm-hmm. So then he said to him, even is like il, sa, okay, like that, right?
No, okay. Like the even numbers.
Well, he would have to say the numbers. Yeah. That's what I mean. I'm sorry. I was saying yes. Okay. All right. That's all because I was like, why don't he know what even and odd means? I don't like this. What are y'all trying to say?
How do you not? It's hard for you to understand.
No, because in the translation, he doesn't say, it's not like he says, again, chucha, right? It's not like they have Ali then say, chucha. Like, if you read the translation, it's basically, you have to guess even and odd. And he goes, what's even and odd? And he goes, even is, do you get what I mean?
Yeah, but I was still taking it as he doesn't know like the words themselves, like in Korean. It's his first time hearing these words in Korean.
I wasn't getting that because they're both speaking the same fucking language, which is foreign to me, kind of.
All right. I was just, I don't know, maybe because I was like waiting for a moment where they would have like a language barrier.
Ah.
And I was like, oh, here it is.
Gotcha. Well, you're smarter than I am, apparently.
Yeah.
No, you weren't supposed to agree to that. So, okay, so they play that game first, right? Mm-hmm. Is that the one they play? And Ali is kicking his ass. Ali is on his way home. And he feels bad. He feels bad because he likes this shitty man. And let me tell you something from past experience. Liking a shitty man gets you nowhere good, okay? And see what happens? He tricked him. Mm-hmm. Well, first, he got a little xenophobic. He's like, what did you do? Did you lie to me? Did you play this? Like, it was, as a black person, I'm just going to say, it was feeling like he was about to cross the line, you know. I was like, oh God, here we go. Like, please don't call him a terrorist or something. Please, let's not go here. But, and then he apologized. And I thought, I even kind of forgave him that because it's your life. Mm-hmm. And no one wants to die, right? So, like, I even forgave him that, and I even believed his story. Did you guys believe him?
No.
What story?
Where he said there's a way that we can both live.
Yeah, I
did. I thought that because I thought there was going to be some kind of... He was figuring out a way to trick the system into...
Yes.
That we both have to die. That's what I thought.
I didn't believe him. I saw one of them dying.
Oh my God.
But I really thought it was Sungwoo that was going to die by the end.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was mad. But I could just tell he was just going to trick him. I don't know. I kind of saw it coming.
Was like, here, take this, like this elaborate thing where he has this man walking around with a pouch around his a pouch of pebbles.
That's so, like, humiliating, too. Like, why do you have to tie it around his neck?
I know! and pat him on the top of the head. Now you go, boy, and go find some busy work before you die. Oh my God, it was so terrible. And he's walking around like he gave him a task.
Yeah.
Like he's actually inspecting these couples. Oh no, they're not old enough. Okay, like just ridiculous busy work that doesn't mean anything. And so what he does is he goes up to the guard and he shows that he has 20 marbles, right? Mm-hmm. Now so he took all of their marbles, both of their marbles combined, but he put the rocks in. But didn't he give him one? I thought he gave him a marble. Like he said something like, so you don't have to feel bad about killing me or something like that.
I think he was talking about giving him one, but he didn't end up doing it. Okay,
because I was like, all right, so how did he find... So he should have only had 19. Okay, but he didn't. Okay. And so he walks up to the guard and says, I have 20. That just feels weird to me that they... Like, because then why wouldn't they just kill him immediately? If you have one guard...
I felt
that's
that was
not
weird
fair.
That they... Because some of the games, it felt like the guards were right over the people. Like for the second that they were out of marbles, they got shot in the head. But Ali, like, they had to... The guard had to have seen him do the pebble thing or something.
Right. And then when you talk about how it's supposed to be all fair and stuff like that, it just feels like...
I wonder if they were waiting for him to realize he lost.
I don't know. It was the same. It was the same thing with what happened with the main character in number 1 when he's tricking him. I'm like, isn't there a guard right there that's seeing this? Like, but yeah. Right.
So I mean, obviously it's okay to be a piece of shit during the game, but
just somehow end it with 20 marbles.
And then, like, I honestly,
but had the only rule they said was no violence.
Oh, I missed that. And that makes sense. I missed that, and it makes sense because there were so many times where I thought 101 was going to kill that guy. He was talking cash shit, and I'm like, oh, he wants to kill you so bad.
Yeah, but didn't he at one point say, like, you can't do anything to me because that's, like, against the rules?
I forgot. Yeah, he must have. He might have. I don't remember that. But, so, you know what I kind of wish, though, instead? I think I would have just rather, when he was like, Young, where are you? I think I would have just rather he just got a bullet in the back of the head, and like when he falls forward, we see the pebbles fall out, so we get it. I don't like the fact that he knew he was betrayed. Like, that's just cruel. Like, I don't know.
But they've done that. Like, they're doing that in every episode, I feel like. It's like they let these people realize that they're going to die. Like, with the tug of war, like, the people are hanging for a good 30 seconds before the guillotine comes down. Like, these people know they're going to fucking die. It's like, it's just drawing it out to make it even worse on them.
I cannot. Do you guys, before we wrap up with the last one, do you guys have a theory on why this is happening?
I told you.
Okay.
Rich people being terrible.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, Kaylee, either it already happened when I mentioned it to you, or it didn't happen because I didn't see it again. When Kihyun is playing with number one, there's one point where he lies to him about what he had said, right, and it was what Kihyun had said. So Kihyun had guessed even. And then right before the old man was going to open his hands, he goes, wait. And he changed it to odd. Right. So when the man opened his hands, it was even. And Kihyun is like, damn. And then the old man is like, what did you say?
Well, he starts telling some story or some shit. And then he's like, wait, what did you say before? Like and at this point, I was like, this motherfucker, he is
Well, no, wait, if that's the case, did he do that more than once?
Yes.
Okay, because I was just going to say, there was no story. Like, he legit was just like, what did you say? Yes. And he lied.
It was a story because he was going to, the main guy was going to lose.
He
was down to that was it. He had no more marbles. Okay. But he's like, he was giving him a chance to survive he knew, you could tell he was telling him, hey, you need to lie to survive type of thing. Like, here, you sure you said that because I don't want you to die.
But I thought he didn't.
Didn't what?
But he didn't lie to him.
He did.
He did 3 times.
Yeah, I don't think there was a single time he told the truth.
Oh my God!
He was lying the whole fucking time.
And
that's why the old guy knew.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God! Don't tell me that.
Yes, and the old guy knew at the end, and that's why he said something about playing fair, not playing fair, and he's like, I can't believe you lied to me.
I hate everything.
That's what made it worse, and that's why I felt like this guy wasn't. He knew what he was doing, and he knew the whole time. That's why I felt like I was still suspect of him at the very end when you don't see him dead.
I'm still suspect of him right now. He ain't dead. We ain't see it. I want to see the body. I want to see it burn.
Yeah, there was too many red flags with him in this episode.
And then 67 and 240. So,
my villain origin story.
Saebyeok is from North Korea, and she lost her dad is dead, right? Mm-hmm. But she's trying to get her mom over. Not over, down. And homegirl, why do I keep forgetting her name? Oh, Chi-young. She just got out of prison, right? Or just got out of jail. Yeah, she's got out of prison for killing her dad, who was a molester and an abuser and a piece of shit. And it makes sense why she was so up that religious guy's butt. Because her dad was a pastor. Yeah. This was so sad, though, because when she was, telling her the joke, I guess, where someone, from a line from a movie where they were go to the mojito and have a Maldives. It was supposed to be flipped. And she's like, you've never seen that? And she's like, no. And she's like, when we get out of here, we got to go. And she's like, oh. We won't be getting out of here together. And just even that reveal that it was that type of game, I was fucked up. I was like, oh, this episode. But anyway.
I just loved, she was like, I have nothing to go to after this, so I'm giving it to you.
So that just makes me feel like 67 has to live. If she doesn't, I'm going to be furious.
Me too.
Right? Mm-hmm. Because then what the fuck is the point? I'm so confused about... I get what you guys are saying. It's just rich people. But I really hope it's more than that. I really hope it's a little bit better than that, honestly. All right. So that's it, right? Thank you for playing with me.
Yep.
I'm so sad. Because that's how I got spoiled. It was that specific scene. There's people drawing fan art of that scene, of that shot of her standing in the background with a gun pointed to her head, and I was like, oh God.
You got spoiled in a storyboard. It wasn't even just dialogue. It was like a fucking comic strip. Damn. It's really fucking sad. So, what are those drawings on the walls?
The ones that you asked me about the flowers?
Yeah, Kaylee, did you notice there are drawings on the walls in the room that they all sleep in? Like, no. They're like flowers. I
just think it's like flowers and it's supposed to be like grass. I just feel like everything that we're seeing is supposed to make them feel like kids.
Like at camp or something.
Right.
Yeah. It's just like these drawings on the wall. I thought was interesting. Okay. Anyway, so thank you guys for listening. Donnie's going to go to work and I am going to go to work on these 2 episodes. No, I'm going to go to work on... I'm going to work on my homework because I cannot fail. But I want to thank you guys for listening. As always, we have more Attack on Titan coming up, which is on our premium show. We are covering... What else are we covering on premium? Why am I drawing a blank? Foundation, Titans. What else?
Are we doing Only Murders in the Building on there?
No, that's free too. We're doing a lot of cool stuff over on Patreon. So patreon.com/podcastfandom. We're about to start covering Hawkeye and the Wheel of Time over there as well. That's it. I don't have anything else. Say goodnight.
Night.
Good night.